This is Ra Hogan for Punch Out Boxing. I'm delighted to be here with Conor Wallace, all the way from sunny Queensland, Fortitude Valley, I believe, which is actually just a suburb of Brisbane. Am I right?
Yeah, just the Fortitude Valley there. It's right with the gym's in Bone Hills, but the gym's called Fortitude Boxing.
So I was expecting to hear an Aussie accent, but then I looked at your amateur record and saw you are from the windswept Emerald Isle, as people can tell by your accent. You are originally from, is it Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I'm from Newry. It's right on the border between the north and the south.
Uh-huh.
So
But you
um,
represented Ireland as an amateur.
yeah, represented Ireland and Northern Ireland, and I'm over here obviously. So I still get a bit of shit about my accent. Some of the ones from back home think it's changed a bit, but you know yourself what it's like.
Can't hear a twinge of Aussie in there yet myself, but yeah, I guess your family and friends back home will. I mean, uh, you were quite the top level amateur for Ireland up until 2018. You could tell us a bit about your amateur background, because needless to say, over here in the UK, we've forgotten about you. So get the fans reacquainted and tell us how this big move to Oz came about.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of amateur fights. Obviously, worked my way up through the rankings and from youth right up to elites and stuff. Boxed all over the world for Ireland and Northern Ireland and Ulster teams and stuff, and gained plenty of experience, which was good. But then obviously, what my main goal was to turn professional. I really wanted to turn pro. So Steve Deller from over here in Brisbane, Fortitude Boxing, got in touch with me about turning professional. He had a big connection with Irish fighters before, so he hit me up to see would I be interested in coming over here to turn pro, and I said, oh, I'll come and check it out and see what it's like and that, and I came over and had a look at the gym and seen where I was going to be staying and what sort of a setup, who was going to be training me. His son Greg Eady actually trains me, so we gelled well and went home and got my stuff together, and here I am. Almost 6 years later.
And be honest, did the weather down there help?
Yeah, definitely. When I came here, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely for me." Like 30 degrees, 35 degrees. It's in the winter normally. You know what I mean? It's the weather's unbelievable. So now it was great vibe and stuff, and a great community vibe in the gym, and everyone pulling the one way. I absolutely love it here, and great team around me, and I'm moving in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess at the time you turned pro boxing in Ireland, the scene was pretty much dead, just restarting. I actually just beat to Belfast last week for your countryman Mick Conlon's probably sad demise. But I agree with the weather factor. Yeah, couldn't hack
Yeah.
Belfast in winter myself. But so yeah, you're signed now with Mike Francis of Tasman Fighters.
Yeah, I'm with McFrancis Tasman Fighters. Yeah, they're doing a great job. It's a great promotional company I'm with. They've got obviously the cruiserweight King Jao Bataya and Justice Hinney as well. He's with Matchroom. He's a heavyweight. So great team, great stable I'm in. Mick and Fran at Tasman Fighters are doing a great job and really pushed it. And no better man than Jao Bataya to be paving the way for us, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mike. Mike's doing a great job for all of you guys. Now with this partnership with Matchroom Global, just at the right time as Irish boxing is back on the scene. I'm sure we'll see you make the long trip before long. But you've been climbing up the rankings. You got the IBF Pan Pacific title. That's managed to get you up in pretty high up in the rankings. So you're on the periphery now in one of the toughest divisions at light heavy. So come the 20th, you continue your pro career down there in Oz. You got Itamagui.
Yeah,
you
Mose
pronounce it for us.
yeah, Mose Omatagi Jr. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think he's from New Zealand, and I think he's half Samoan, but he's got a bit of Samoan in him and stuff. So it'll be a good test. You know, he's been in with a couple of top boys. He's well experienced, and it's just another step in the ladder. Every fight from here on for me is a world title fight. You know yourself. If you lose, you slip back down the rankings. So the main thing is to keep winning and gaining that experience and getting better with each fight and climbing the rankings. So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
yeah, as I said, like the Tasman fighters and stuff are doing a great job, mate. And my manager, Steve Deller, I'm being moved along nicely, ranked quite highly with four of the major governing bodies. So, every fight from here on is key, and the main thing is to keep winning.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep winning, keep learning. I noticed on BoxRec you've got a fight scheduled already for February. Is that the plan to get out again in February if all goes well?
Oh, March, I think it
March.
is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully get through if we get through this one, and then they're maybe thinking about doing a big show on St. Patrick's Day here in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. So it's a massive thing, obviously for the Irish and St. Patrick's Day parade and stuff. So no better man than myself to headline the event on St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely, yeah. I presume there's a fairly large Irish community in Brisbane.
Yeah, it's massive. There's a massive Irish contingent here, and they really love the fights and stuff. The fighting Irish, you know what it's like to get full of drink and head to the fight. So it's a great atmosphere, and I've got a great support base here, and it's getting bigger and bigger with each fight. The last fight was absolutely massive. So the main thing is to keep building on that and keep the ball rolling. And as you said, the big nights and the big fights, that's what you do it for. So just keep moving in the right direction.
Yeah, indeed. How much do you follow the sport, especially in your own division? I know you're not looking past your current opponent, but generically, as I'm sure if you do follow, here in the UK, the light heavyweight division is hot. I mean, I think
Yeah.
our fighters are sort of ranked numbers 1 to 3 in all of the governing bodies. Have
Yeah.
you ever encountered any of the British and Irish guys, sort of like back in the amateurs in sparring?
Yeah, well, I don't think I've sparred. I used to spar with Anthony Fowler and stuff whenever he was the GB number one at the time, and I was a middleweight, obviously. Um, and then obviously he has moved on now and moved on. But I was 75 and I only just recently moved up to 81, and then I turned professional. So anytime I've sparred any of the boys, it was just Fowler that I sparred. Before he went to the Rio Olympics and stuff. So I've obviously eats and breathes boxing, so I've been watching the boys above me in the rankings and stuff. And anytime there's boxing on, I'm always watching. So I'm well aware of the boys. I think it's Boati was supposed to fight as Dan Aziz, I think, but it fell through. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's been rescheduled for February here in London. So yeah,
good stuff.
they're ranked 1 and 2 with the WBA. So yeah, have you seen much of them? Do you rate either of them?
Yeah, I've been watching them. Yeah, I reckon I would be tipping probably Boati to beat Aziz, I think. From what I've seen, but I reckon it should be a good fight,
Mm-hmm. The other guy who's pretty big over is Anthony Yard. Don't know. Did you see his attempt to dethrone probably the king of the division right now, Beterbiev here in London?
Yeah, I did. I've watched it as well. And then obviously you have Lyndon Arthur. He's going to be fighting Bivol on the Saudi card. So there's a lot of top boys that from GB,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
And then Callum Smith. He's fighting Peter Biev now, isn't he?
he is in January, yeah. So,
Yeah.
how do you assess the big two in the division? It's widely regarded Beterbiev and Bivol are sort of head and shoulders above everyone. Do you think does Callum have a chance? Is Beterbiev nearly 40? Do you think he might be slipping?
Yeah, well, as I say, like age gets the better of everyone eventually, but I think he's a beast, and he still probably has a bit of time left in him yet. But it will be interesting. Obviously, I'd love to see Bivol and Bitterbeer fight, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But they're the guys you're looking at, and I know myself, I'm a couple of fights away from the top boys, but every fight from here on in is a stepping stone towards them boys. And I'm a realist, you know what I mean? I'm not a dreamer thing. I'm gonna fight Bivol in my next fight. I'm not. That's not me. I've been around the game a long time, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know the way you have to go about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm looking forward to watching. There's a couple of big fights coming up, and it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, the press conference for the Day of Reckoning, which Jai was at, Turkey Al Sheikh. the Saudi guy making it happen, made an interesting comment. He said he hopes to make that fight next year. If anyone's got the money to make it happen, it's them. Who would you fancy out
Yeah,
of Bivol and Beterbiev?
I really like Bivol, to be honest with you. Just his footwork, his movement, and obviously Beterbiev is a beast. Like, but I actually prefer watching Bivol, to be honest.
Hmm.
I just think he's a better boxer, and but obviously the power and the strength and that you'd have to be giving it the Beterbiev. But it'd be interesting. I reckon it would be depends who turns up on the day. You know what I mean? It would be like if you have a bit of an off day, you know, you might lose. But
Yeah.
it'd be very interesting, I believe. Who would you be tipping?
I think Bivol will win. I do think Beterbiev, as you said, age will catch up with him. I think it will take a special fighter to show that age has caught up with him.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Bivol is that guy. And hey, listen, my guy Callum Smith. I wouldn't be shocked if Callum wins. He's not the favourite, but I wouldn't be shocked, not at this point. So, but as you said, we got to see if they do fight. I mean, the timings could work out really well for contenders like yourself because that'd probably be sort of middle of next year, end of next year. Usually,
yeah.
when there's an undisputed champ, titles get fragmented because then they can't keep up with all the mandatories. So yeah, I mean by then you might have had a couple of more developmental fights that have got you higher up the rankings and make you sort of further up in line to get one of them belts.
Yeah. That's the plan, as I say. You know, couple of good fights and a couple of good wins in the next sort of 12 to 14 months, and then we look and reevaluate where we are, and hopefully not be too far away from a big fight. You know.
Hmm. Just wonder other potential fights for you. I mean, would you like to settle sort of rivalries down there in Oz? There's another top contender. Is it Papaloni?
Yeah,
There's
well,
him.
he's from New Zealand. Yeah, that's another
Uh-huh.
big fight as well. Jerome Pampalone, he actually beat the boy that I'm fighting next. So yeah, again, that's another fight. He's highly ranked as well. So all big fights, and the main thing is, as you say, not overlooking this opponent that I have December 20, but there's a big opportunity for me next year to 2024 to be a big year, and the big fights is what you want, and that's what pushes you in training, you know.
Absolutely. Would you like to revisit Ireland and do a show there if there's another big one in Belfast or Dublin?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we've got the Katie Taylor. She may be fighting Chantel Cameron again, maybe, and they're talking about it in Crow Park. So they're the sort of fights that really drive me, you know, and inspire me to work hard and train hard. And all of my friends that I've been on the amateur teams with, Gary Cully, he was on the same team as me. Kevin Hines, they're all doing great. Or Kevin Jarko, they're all doing great things, you know.
Hmm.
Like I'm the same age as them, born in 1996, and they're all thereabouts as well, and climbing the rankings too. So, why wouldn't it be unbelievable to be on that show again? Got a good relationship with Eddie Hearn and stuff, and be maybe good to get on one of them shows too. So, but the main thing is for me, December 20 is my first priority, and then we look for a big year next year.
Yeah, could work out perfect timing, but like you said, you've got to get past Mosey. And stylistically, what can we expect of you? Most of us haven't seen you fight yet. You're a classic boxer, obviously because of your amateur background. Do you like to slug it out? What can we expect from Conor
Yeah, well,
Wallace?
I think I've done a little bit of everything so far in my career. I've had a wide range of opponents, which has been good, and I've learned it's good to have all different types of opponents. You know, I've had some that are boxers, some that are come forward fighters, some that are standoff. So I've had a good range of opponents, and I've dealt with them all pretty well. The one loss I had on my record, I avenged it and knocked the guy out because that was my first fight back after a hand surgery. So I feel at the start of my career, I was very amateur style, you know, like hitting, getting away. But now I'm really starting to sit down. My coaches and that told me it would take me a while for me to adapt. Take me maybe 2 years even before I start actually boxing like a pro. Because they said no matter what they teach me, I'll still always go back to my old ways, you know.
Hmm.
But now I believe like doing all the like they're doing the rounds and constantly doing the longer rounds in sparring as opposed to just doing the 3 or 4 rounds as an amateur. It's a big difference and a different ball game altogether. But I really feel like it's really starting to suit me, and I'm really starting to get stronger and stronger with each fight. You know, and if you look at my record, I have been getting a few knockouts and stuff against good opponents. So, yeah, it's moving in the right direction. And I think I've really gelled well with my coach, and he's taught me a lot.
And you're perfectly comfortable at light heavyweight. No chance of you boiling down further at super middle or being concerned maybe in the future go up?
Yeah, well, I reckon I have the height and stuff for cruiserweight, but I just think super middleweight is a bit of a push for me because I am pretty tall. I'm 6'3", so you don't want to be maybe losing it and then losing a bit of my power and stuff. I feel like I'm strong and I've really developed into the light heavyweight division, like the weight category. So feel good and strong, and obviously with the sports scientists and dietitians and stuff now, I'm a lot bigger than what I was at the start for the weight. You know.
Yeah, indeed.
Like a lot more matured. So
sure. And down there in Oz, I don't know what the pool of pro fighters is like. I mean, do you think you might have to do camps abroad eventually to sort of get really high level sparring?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of good fighters around here as well. And I just got back from Thailand. I was over in Thailand for a training camp with John Hutchison. He's an Irish guy. He's over at Tiger in Phuket. A lot of good fighters go over there as well. And we got some quality sparring when we were over there with a couple of different Russians and stuff. It's like obviously as we get the bigger fights, you'll have more sparring tailored to the opponents that you're going to be fighting, you know, and we will be willing to travel overseas or bring boys in. As you know yourself, with the bigger fights, the bigger paydays, the more is invested in the camp, and I think we're not far away from that level now, you know.
Indeed. Have you sparred with Jai Opataya?
No, I actually haven't, to be honest with you, because it just the way it has worked out. Obviously, I had fights myself, and obviously he's a southpaw. I wasn't fighting a southpaw, and then he was overseas and stuff, and then but eventually, I reckon we probably will eventually. He's obviously got his fight coming up now. It's an orthodox boxer that he's boxing as well, so I reckon it will be. They'll not be easy rounds, but it'd be good to get a few rounds with him. I'm good friends and stuff with Jay. He's a good lad, and he's a good role model, you know, and it just goes to show you with hard work and believing in yourself what can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I've met Jai a couple of times now. Great guy, great champion as well. Carries himself in and out of the ring superbly. He's also highly in demand for any southpaw sparring. I know Tyson Fury wants him. He's probably the best southpaw mover from sort of light heavyweight upwards. So
big time, yeah. He is a beast and so athletic for his size, you know.
Yeah, indeed. All right, and will you be joining us in Saudi Arabia for Jai's big night there?
Nah, I don't think so, because I've actually I've obviously got my own fight on the 20th, and then my family and that's coming from Ireland for my fight, so it'll probably be a bit hard for me just to get off over to Saudi whenever my family's just got here from Ireland, you know. So
of course.
No, I'll definitely be watching on at Mecca, and Mecca name's going. I think they'll be there. Mecca will probably miss my fight, but his wife Fran and stuff, she'll be there for my fight, and then probably head over for Jai's then, you know.
Sure. So getting family over for Christmas down under.
Yeah, Christmas down under in the heat, 35 degrees or 40-degree heat on the beach. Can't be too bad.
Not at all. That is, yeah, making me envious. But I am going to Saudi Arabia for the fight, so it might. I don't think there'll be a beach, but it might be a bit warmer than the UK.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'll be unreal. It's a massive card, so.
Yeah, indeed.
It'll be exciting to see what happens. The heavyweight fights could be interesting. Somebody might spoil the party.
Yeah, I think that many fights, I'm expecting at least one big upset. That's the beauty of this sport of boxing that we follow. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, Connor. It's been an absolute pleasure
Yeah, no,
reintroducing
thank
you
you
to
very
the
much.
fans. Yeah, thanks for your time. Just 10 days away, just to remind the fans, can be seen
Yeah,
on DAZN,
yeah,
live
10 days
from
out, live in the zone.
down there in Fortitude Valley, Queensland. So yeah, get behind Connor, all Aussies, Irishmen, and boxing fans generally. We will be seeing you in some big fights in 2024, I think.
Yeah, that's the plan. And as I say, thank you very much for having me on, and safe travels on your journey over to Saudi and stuff. Enjoy and happy Christmas.
Thanks from Punch Out Boxing. Hope you all the luck on the 20th for a big win, and have a great Christmas and New Year.